Hello, my name is Oliver. Welcome back to my very personal finance channel. It seems like summer's come early, so it's only going to be a quick one because I need to get outside and start doing some DIY. So, just diving straight into it. This is my portfolio. Trading 212's had an upgrade on their website to make it look a little bit more like the app, which I'm personally a massive fan on. So, as you can see here, that's my total breakdown. 11 investments, nearly 5.5 grand invested. Happy days, and then it shows you the allocation of each one. We have made a purchase of some new stocks, so I suppose I'll go over them in just a tick. Okay, so stock purchases this month are, we have bought 500 Powerhouse Energy shares, which seem to be doing okay. We're up £95 on those. As you can see, they're down on the month, but if we look at them on the day, they are quite a way up. They're 8% up, so that's looking pretty good. We bought 16 AGNC investments. That is because we've been consistently buying them. As you can see, the market's closed. It's due to open at past. So they haven't made any movement, but we are slowly but surely getting close to 100 of them, which I think is where I'll stop with them. Nearly £1,000 invested as well, which is quite a lot, but they're giving roughly sort of £7 a month now, so we'll see how that pans out. And the final one, which is the, I don't want to say biggie, but the final one is Vivo Cannabis, which I invested in as more of a speculative measure, just because I thought that it'd do alright come Q4 earnings report, and they have yet to publish their Q4 earnings report, and so they have tanked, which is not good. So for those who don't know, Vivo Cannabis is a Canadian marijuana company. They're relatively small and they do artisanal cannabis. They make edible chocolates, and they've got some bits and bats in some pharmaceuticals, and they're pushing to try and establish themselves in Australia and Germany. All that being taken into account, I looked into the company, had a look at the price to earnings ratio, which was a bit naff, but to be expected from a startup. Looked at their debt to assets ratio, which was pretty good. I was relatively happy with it. They had enough assets. The debt's about 9 million quid, I think, when I looked. The debt's 6 million quid, but the last quarter they took 9 million quid. So for me, that's a good sign of a company that's using debt wisely and is growing off the back of that. And I overall looked at the company and thought, yeah, I can see these going quite far, so we'll see. Bought 2,000 shares, which is 200 quid, and subsequently we are down, although I'm not sure how we're down, because this line here is where I bought, and this is obviously where they are. So let's just have a quick look. Right, okay. So the spread is very large there, so that's 3p, which probably looking at sort of 16% spread, which means if I were to buy them now and resell them, I would lose about 16% of the value. So not really very good. Hopefully they publish the Q4 earnings report, but to me as an investor, missing your Q4 earnings report publishing when you've said you're going to publish it on a day at a time and you don't, that can only be a bad thing. So this one might be a bust, but I thought I'd give it a bit of a speculation, because I need my pot to grow. I need it to grow quicker than I'm investing it, and sometimes you've just got to speculate on a stock. I only put 200 quid in, so worst comes to worst, I lose £200. Alright, so moving on to the dividends that we've made this month. Here you can see we got £3.47 from AGNC investment. Now, I actually got paid for AGNC investment for 47 shares, even though all of last month, or for the most of last month, I actually owned about 64. The reason for that is because when I made my purchase to go from 47 to 64 shares, I missed the ex-dividend date. And if you don't know what an ex-dividend date is, I'm actually going to start with just putting up some videos, which is investing terms explained as quickly as possible. So I'm hoping they won't pass 30 seconds. Just to give anyone who's listening a bit of background or a bit of advice. And then we also got paid for iShares UK dividend. We get paid quarterly for them. Pretty consistently, it's been every quarter. As you can see, we got 5.78 pence per share. We own 105 shares, and that gave us £6.07. So happy with that. That does break our streak though. So for the past 3 months, we've had double figure dividends. This month we have just missed out by barely 50 pence, which is a bit annoying, but it means that for next year, I know that I've got to put a bit more effort into working on getting dividends for March. And that is about that for this month. So like I said, it's only going to be a short one. So we bought a few shares, we've got a few dividends. It's not as good as I wanted it, but that's okay. We're still early days yet. I'm hoping that you can see this line here that runs, just this dotted line. So if you'll notice, the blue lines are profit, and then this line is how much we've got invested, and the divergence is getting more and more apart, which to me says I'm doing something right. So we're currently up nearly £800. We're happy with that. And just for anyone who is interested, that is the weighting of all of my stocks and shares. So as you can see, Vivo, which is one of our losers, is got the lowest weighting anyway, so that's all right. It's not going to be a big hit. We've also got Nordic American Tankers down there, also another loser, but we'll keep our hands on them, and we'll just see how far we get. And that's it from me. Have a good one.